Welcome back to episode 81 of my journey to complete Pokémon Soul Silver. Make sure to follow to stay updated. Today, we are going to be challenging the Elite Four for the second time. I trained all my Pokémon up to level 70, and Tyrogue evolved into Hitmonlee. The only Pokémon to reprise their role on the Elite Four team is Yanmega. I head into the room and challenge the first member of the Elite Four, Psychic Specialist Will. Will starts the battle with Bronzong, and I send out Tyranitar. Will used their first full restore, and Dark Pulse does less damage now because of Reflect. Finally, Bronzong goes down. Next, Gardevoir comes out, and Focus Blast is the truth. Tyranitar does some serious damage back before switching out. Yanmega eats the Focus Blast, and then finishes Gardevoir with Pursuit. Tyranitar comes out to take out Jinx with Dark Pulse. Grumpig almost takes out Tyranitar, but they return fire with a Dark Pulse. Power Gem finished Tyranitar, and Yanmega came back out to finish Grumpig. Next, Yanmega's Bug Buzz took out Slowbro. Yanmega used Bug Buzz again on Xatu and popped their berry. The second Bug Buzz was enough, and I defeated the first of the Elite Four Will. I healed up my Pokémon and ran into the next room to challenge the second of the Elite Four, Poison Specialist Koga. Yanmega started the battle against Skuntank with Bug Buzz, and a second took it out. Crobat came from the sky with a critical hit fly, and Articuno's Ice Beam sent it to the red. A full restore from Koga and an Ice Beam got us back to where we were. A second fly from Crobat didn't do enough, and Articuno finished it off. Next, Extrasensory from Lugia takes out Toxicroak. Then, 2 Extrasensories from Lugia take out Gulpin. After that, 3 Ice Fangs from Gyarados takes out Venomoth. Koga's last Pokémon is Muck, and Tyranitar pressures heavy with Earthquake. After being healed up with a full restore, the second Earthquake rolls slightly higher, and the Sandstorm is enough to finish Muck off, and I defeat the second Elite Four member, Koga. I heal up my Pokémon again, and then head into the next room to take on the Fighting-type Specialist, Elite Four member Bruno. Yanmega starts the battle, taking out Hitmontop with Air Slash. A series of Air Slashes, interrupted by a full restore from Bruno, finish off Hitmonlee. Yanmega continues the Air Slash party until Machamp spoils it with a Stone Edge. Lugia finished Machamp with Extrasensory. Aeroblast from Lugia took Hariyama down to the red, but brought itself back up with a Styrus Berry, but not high enough to survive an Extrasensory. A combination of Extrasensory and Aeroblast from Lugia take Lucario down. Lugia takes out Bruno's last Pokémon, Hitmonchan, with Aeroblast, and I defeat the third Elite Four member, Bruno. Again, I heal up my Pokémon and head into the next room. This time to face the Dark-type Specialist, Karen. We start the battle taking a lot of damage from Weavile's Ice Punch, but returning more with Hitmonlee's Close Combat. Next Ancient Power from Articuno takes half of Honchkrow's health. The next one takes them to the red, and after a full restore, a critical hit, Ancient Power takes out Honchkrow. After that, Gyarados takes on Houndoom with Hydro Pump, taking it to the red. Unfortunately, 2 unanswered Dark Pulses from Houndoom take Gyarados out. Then Lugia's Hydro Pump finished Houndoom. The next Pokémon Karen sent out was Spiritomb, and after a strong first showing from Yanmega, everything started to fall apart, as eventually it continued to get chipped down to no health. Lugia came out and missed their first 2 attacks, and was eventually taken out with a Sucker Punch. Spiritomb self-harmed itself, and then Umbreon came out. Tyranitar sent some serious moves Umbreon's way, but ultimately, it was the Sandstorm that finished the job. Karen's last Pokémon was Absol, who put up a small fight before getting chipped to the red by Sandstorm and getting healed up with a full restore. Finally, 2 more Earthquakes take down Absol, and I defeat the fourth and final Elite Four member, Karen. I heal up my Pokémon for the final time and head into the last room to face the final trainer, Dragon-type specialist, the Pokémon champion himself, Lance. I started with Hitmonlee and used Fake Out on Salamence. Next, I sent out Gyarados to eat a Dragon Claw. Another Dragon Claw from Salamence did some damage, but Gyarados' Ice Fang brought Salamence to the red. The first full restore from Lance brings Salamence back up to full, but Ice Fang brings it right back down to red. Salamence then decided to use Rest and bring its health back up to full again, and another Ice Fang brought it back to the red. A second Ice Fang finished Salamence, and this is when I seriously regretted bringing Hitmonlee instead of Raikou. I decide to keep Gyarados in to face itself, and after a Hyper Beam that did no damage, I knew I was in trouble. The opposing Gyarados used Ice Fang and then Waterfall to take out my own Gyarados. Articuno got one Ice Beam off before a critical hit Waterfall took it out. Next was Yanmega, who took almost all the damage from a Waterfall and hardly scratched Gyarados with Pursuit. The second one finished Yanmega. Next was Lugia, who took a lot of damage and almost finished Gyarados with Ancient Power, but ultimately went down to Ice Fangs. Then the savior, who we didn't know we needed, Hitmonlee, was able to finish Gyarados off with Fake Out. The heroics continued, as Hitmonlee gave us an opportunity to save not only one, but two other Pokémon by surviving an Air Slash. Ultimately, the sacrifice was worth it. 2 Hydro Pumps from Lugia, and we were able to take down Charizard. Lugia then faced off against Dragonite, and after throwing all of its ancient powers at Dragonite and popping its berry. As soon as it got close, Lance used a full restore, and extra sensories were not going to cut it. With Lugia's last move, I was able to bring back Articuno before it went down to Draco Meteor. Articuno's Ice Beam was enough to take out Dragonite, and then Garchomp's Outrage took out Articuno. Garchomp's Outrage brought Gyarados less than half, and Gyarados returned fire with Hydro Pump. An Ice Fang was able to finish Garchomp off, and that left Lance to throw out his last Pokémon, Altaria. A repetition of Ice Fangs and full restores kept us in a cycle until Gyarados got a critical hit, and I defeated the Pokémon League champion Lance. Thank you for watching, and make sure to follow to stay updated. We still have a lot of things to do, such as finish the Pokédex, get my picture taken everywhere, get the rest of the phone numbers, and Battle Red. If you like this series, make sure to comment which Pokémon game you would like to see me complete next.